Leaders, special greetings. I hope this video finds you well. Now, today we're gonna talk about one of my favorite topics. This is one subject that I study and do so much research upon. It is one area that in which I work at being a master at. We're just gonna talk about money. In essence, we're gonna start with the basics being budgeting, how to budget. Now, let me just give a quick context of why money is important. You know, money, it is that one tool or instrument that in which can enable one to achieve their goals, dreams, even their vision at a quicker rate. I'll make an example. What is meant to take you to achieve 2 years of time, you can accomplish it within a few months. That's the power of money. Money is not the ultimate source of things. Unfortunately, it's said that we live in a world whereby it is worshipped and people can literally go as far as to violate their conscience, ethics, and morals just to get money. So yeah, let me not go ahead of myself. Today we're gonna talk about budget, as I said. Now, what is budget? Budget, in simpler terms, it is you estimating where your income or your expenditure will go in a certain period of time. Now, I love John C. Maxwell. He defines budgeting as you knowing where your money is going instead of wondering where it went. Now, let's face it, each and every one of us, we can attest to the fact that at one point we once had a lot of money, or we once had money, but we spend it in such a way whereby when we take stock, when we calculate, you'd find that it's things in which are not necessarily important, but it's just things in which one can live or survive without. At school, we were taught needs and wants, and without budget, you could find that a lot of times we spend our money on the wants instead of the needs. Now, budgeting is one, as I mentioned when I started this video, that it is one of the most important things that in which you need to master. It is one of the habits that in which should be in you. Once you understand the art of budgeting in the area of money, you will understand a lot of things will just become simple. You'll be a master at a lot of things just because of that one discipline being budget. Now, I'm gonna teach, as I said, that I want this to be basic, and I'm gonna try to teach this as more simpler, and so that each and everyone can understand. Hence, I'm gonna do it whereby I'm gonna show you a template of how to budget for as a beginner, and as time goes by, you'll just work on improving it. And I think even myself as well, I'll teach you different types of budget depending on our level of understanding. There's budget that is required for a business. There's a budget that is required for the nation. I love it when even Jesus himself, when he was teaching, he said that he mentioned an important principle about budget. I think it's in the book of Luke, I'll post the verse here. But in essence, what he was saying is that if you're gonna build a house, before you even start to build, what you need to do is you need to estimate the costs, just so that when you have started building, may not be that you'll find yourself not being able to continue and people laughing at you that you built and not yet finished. So it's important for each and every one of us to learn budget. Parents, it's important for each and every one of you to understand how to budget, because it will just make your money multiply. It will just make your money grow. Not only that, it will just make your money be used in an effective way, and you can accomplish a lot of things to this by applying this principle rather. So yeah. So for now, let's jump straight to the template that in which I'll show you. Thank you. Leaders, here it's a simple budgeting template that in which I can recommend. Now you can find such templates either online. You can find them, I think it's on spreadsheets. They do have different budgeting templates, or you can even create it yourself, just like the way I've done. So this is how you budget. So I've split my budgeting plans into four, being my income, my expenses, my other expenses, as well as others. Others, you could name it savings, you could name it debt. Either way, it's up to you. So let's start. Current balance is the money that in which you that is in your account at the moment. It excludes the income, it excludes the everything. It's just your, but in accounting term, it's your balance brought down. So let's say for instance that in your account currently you have 1,600. It's excluding things, savings, anything. It's just your account as it is. And then you find, for instance, students. So this budgeting plan, I've written it as someone who might be a student and who's working. So for instance, it's a student bursaries, maybe it gives you 1,500. And then money that you get from parents, guardians, in every month that you're gonna expect for the month of August. Take for instance, it's an extra 1,000. And then side hustle or salary, take for instance you do selling eggs, and you just so this is a projection of what is initially expected. So I'll just go for salary, since you find someone, a student who might be working during weekends, and it's projected that their salary for this month it's 2,000. So let's just calculate the total of the income. So what we will do initially is we're gonna say 1,600 plus 1,500 plus 1,000 plus 2,000. So for income alone, our total is 6,100. Now this is the money that you're gonna project as your income for the year August. And now your expenses, let's jump to expense. Now these are monthly expenses. The difference between the other expenses as well as the expenses is that the expenses are your monthly expenses that in which it is expected for you to take out that money, whilst the other expenses, they differ. It depends on the month, and it's not something that in which you need to pay regularly or every month. Hope this makes sense. So for expenses, let's take that your rent is 1,500. 1,500. Usually whenever I do accounting figures and budgeting for any money that goes out, I usually write into in a brackets, just for me to know that it is a deduction from my normal money. And then groceries, take for instance, you're gonna use another 1,002 for the month. Petrol, it could be 430. You know yourself, you know example. And then tithing, I've written tithing for someone who's a Christian, because this is also one way of mastering money. But I'll make another video separate about the benefits of tithing as well as of giving. So let's just assume that this person goes to church and their tithing will come out of this amount, out of the total amount. So for tithing, for instance, we're gonna do 10%, which is 10% of 6,100 times 10 divided by 100. So for tithing, this person is supposed to gonna take out 610. And then okay, where are we? Subscription, take for instance they have a Netflix account or they're paying Wi-Fi. So for Netflix, you'd find that it's 100 rands. That's their Netflix account. And then other expenses, this is where you need to determine for yourself. So it could be for entertainment. You're saying that this week you wanna go out or you're gonna spend cash. Let's just say 300 for entertainment. This month maybe you're planning to buy a hoodie that you loved, which is 150. And then giving, you're planning to do something good for someone, you budget it as well. So budgeting is you knowing each and every rent where it's going. So but take for instance, you're planning to do something good for someone and you budget $100. It could be you wanna buy them something, it could be you even wanna offer at church. And then for haircut, it could be nails, it could be whatever it is that you are planning to do, nails, your hair, makeup kit, cosmetics. That's another thing. Let me just include it. Take for instance, you wanna buy cosmetics and then you find you budget let's just say 200 overall, and then you're gonna do the total here. So the total, it will be 300 plus 150 plus 100 and then plus 200. Your total here is 750 for your expenses, your other expenses, 750. And then let's go for the expenses. Our total is 1.5 plus 1.2 plus 430 plus 610 plus 100. You can find that the total here is, so you'd find that your money here for expenses is 3,840. And then let's jump to others. And it's important for you to always have an emergency fund for in case a lot of things might happen you never predict, because this is life, things happen. So it's wise to budget and prepare for the future. So how you anticipate it here, I've just written 5% of emergency fund. So you're gonna come back to, same as tithing, you're gonna come back to the actual income. From the actual income, you just do 5% of that, which is equivalent to 3,500. Oh, sorry, 305. Apologies for that. 305. And then tithe, and then your savings, I've also mentioned 10%. Another important tip about savings that you need to know is that it's a saying called what is yours, what is yours that you have earned, it is also important for you to keep. So do not spend each and every money that you earn. It is also important or deservingly for you to keep it. So we're gonna come back to tithing. It's the same as savings is the same as tithing. So my 10% is 610. We're just gonna say 610. And then we're gonna calculate the total, which is 305 plus 610, it which gives us 915. Done. And then we're just gonna come back and add everything. So for my income, it's 610, 600 and 100, not this number. I'm not sure where this number comes from. Apologies. My savings is 6,000. My income is 6,100, which is brought down here. And then my expenses is 3,840, whilst my other expenses for the month of August, it's projected as 750. And then my others, which is your savings and emergency fund, it's 915. So it's money going out to a savings account. Now to get my total in terms of budget for the month of August, we're just gonna say 6,100 minus 3,840 minus 915 minus 750, everything, and then we're gonna get the total of 595, which is the money that's gonna remain for the month of August. So this is one form of budgeting template that in which one can be able to know how to budget. So when the money is like this and not negative, it is healthy, and you'll have an extra 595 for you to spend, or if something happens, you know that you're gonna use to cover those things. So this is the first method of budgeting. If it's a negative On the other hand, it's a danger and you need to make certain adjustments. Sometimes you need to deduct from certain expenses. Sometimes you need to also make a way of getting an extra income here to make sure that your budget reaches this, which is a healthy state. Thank you. So leaders, these were the two different budgeting templates that I hope were a blessing to you. If you have a question, please feel free to drop it on the comment section. We will do by all means to respond to it. I hope this was a blessing to you. And yeah, man, let's win in the area of finances. If you get this discipline right in the area of finances, everything else in your life will just flow naturally, because it's one discipline that beats a lot of people, and also it's one discipline that distinguishes the wealthy to the not so wealthy. So God bless you, and yeah, see you next time.